Have you ever wondered where the tradition of Easter comes from? Easter's origin story is as fascinating as it is ancient, rooted deeply in historical traditions that stretch back thousands of years. It all began with the Jewish festival of Passover, also known as Pesach. This celebration marked a significant event in Jewish history, the liberation of the Hebrews from slavery in Egypt, as narrated in the book of Exodus in the Bible. Now let's fast forward to the 1st century AD. Here, we see a new chapter in the Easter story unfolding. For Christians, Easter adopted an additional layer of meaning. It became a day to commemorate the resurrection of Jesus Christ, a pivotal event that would reshape the religious landscape forever. And when was this momentous event celebrated? On the Sunday following the first full moon of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. So we have two major events, the Jewish Passover and the Christian resurrection, intertwined in the formation of this holiday, but the story doesn't end there. Over time, Easter's meaning and traditions evolved, absorbing elements from various cultures and religions. For instance, the symbols of eggs and rabbits, which we associate so closely with modern Easter celebrations, were actually borrowed from pagan traditions. These symbols represented fertility and rebirth, fitting themes for a festival that heralded the arrival of spring. It's a complex tapestry of beliefs, traditions, and cultures that have come together to shape the Easter we know today. From the Jewish Passover, marking a momentous liberation, to the Christian celebration of resurrection and new life, and even the incorporation of pagan symbols of fertility and rebirth. And so, Easter was born, a tradition deeply rooted in ancient religious practices. It's a testament to how cultures can intersect and evolve over time, creating traditions that are rich in history and filled with meaning. This is just the beginning of the Easter tale. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the evolution of Easter, its traditions, and how it's celebrated around the world. Now, let's delve into how Easter has transformed over the centuries. From its origins in ancient Jewish tradition, Easter has evolved and adapted, absorbing influences from different cultures and times. Initially, it was a Jewish religious festival, marking the liberation of the Hebrews from slavery in Egypt. This important event is known as Pesach, and it's still celebrated by Jewish communities today. But as Christianity spread across the globe, Easter took on a new meaning. It became a celebration of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, a cornerstone of Christian faith. This pivotal event is said to have occurred on the Sunday following the first full moon of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. However, this Christian Easter didn't just replace the Jewish Pesach. Instead, it incorporated elements from it and even from pagan spring festivals. One of the most notable integrations is the use of eggs and rabbits, symbols steeped in pagan traditions. Eggs and rabbits, you ask? Yes, indeed. In many ancient cultures, eggs symbolized new life and rebirth, fitting symbols for a festival celebrating resurrection, and rabbits, with their high reproductive rate, were seen as symbols of fertility. These symbols were already associated with the arrival of spring, a time of rebirth and renewal in nature. Over time, these symbols were Christianized and became an integral part of Easter celebrations. The egg, once a symbol of life in pagan festivals, was transformed into the Easter egg, a symbol of Christ's resurrection. And the rabbit evolved into the Easter bunny, a character who delivers eggs to children. What's fascinating is that these elements, initially pagan, have been so thoroughly adopted into the Christian tradition that many people today associate them primarily with Easter, without realizing their ancient origins. Thus, Easter evolved, blending Christian beliefs with pagan traditions, creating a unique celebration of life and resurrection. From being a religious festival celebrating liberation from slavery to becoming a global celebration of rebirth and new life, Easter's journey through the centuries is a testament to the power of cultural exchange and adaptation. And as we'll see in the next scene, this evolution continues today, with modern practices adding their own layer to the rich tapestry of Easter traditions. Fast forward to today, Easter is celebrated with a variety of unique traditions. Across the globe, this festivity has taken on a multitude of forms, each carrying its own distinct charm and significance. At the heart of Easter, we find the exchange of decorated eggs, a tradition that has persisted for centuries. These eggs, often painted with vibrant colors or intricate designs, symbolize new life and rebirth, echoing the themes of spring and resurrection that are so central to the holiday. In many cultures, these eggs aren't just for display, they're the centerpiece of games and activities, often bringing together families and communities in a spirit of joy and camaraderie. A sweet touch to these celebrations is the widespread consumption of confectionery. From chocolate bunnies to marshmallow chicks, Easter has given birth to an array of delicious traditions that satisfy the sweet tooth of both the young and the young at heart. This indulgence in sweets is not just a treat, it's a nod to the abundance and sweetness of life that Easter represents. Modern practices have also woven their way into the fabric of Easter traditions. The egg hunt, a favorite among children, has become a staple of Easter celebrations. In this delightful game, eggs are hidden in various nooks and crannies, waiting to be discovered by eager youngsters. The thrill of the hunt and the joy of discovery encapsulate the spirit of Easter, a time of renewal, discovery, and joy. And let's not forget the festive meals that grace our tables during Easter. From succulent roasted lamb to indulgent Easter breads, these gastronomic delights serve as a symbol of gratitude and celebration, bringing families together around the dining table in a shared appreciation of life's blessings. Easter today is a blend of ancient symbolism and modern practices, each carrying a special significance. The traditions and customs we observe today are not just acts of celebration, but are rich tapestries of history, culture, and shared human experience, woven together by the threads of time. Easter, though rooted in ancient tradition, is not a one-size-fits-all celebration. Easter, like a beautifully decorated egg, holds within its shell a myriad of colorful traditions that differ from one corner of the globe to the other. Let's take a whirlwind tour around the world to see how this ancient festival is celebrated in diverse ways. In the United States, Easter Sunday is often greeted with the delightful spectacle of the Easter Parade. This tradition, originating in the mid-19th century, sees people strolling in their festive best, their attire often adorned with colorful Easter bonnets. It's a celebration that's as much about the arrival of spring as it is about the religious significance of the day. Skipping across the pond to the United Kingdom, we find the tradition of the Moriones Festival. This week-long event culminates on Easter Sunday and is marked by participants donning Roman centurion masks and costumes, reenacting the story of Longinus, the blind Roman soldier who was said to have pierced the side of Jesus during the crucifixion. On to Greece, where Easter is celebrated with a solemnity and reverence that reflects the deep-rooted Orthodox Christian tradition. The week leading up to Easter, known as Holy Week, is a time of fasting and reflection, culminating in the midnight service on Holy Saturday. At midnight, the church lights are extinguished, symbolizing the darkness and silence of the tomb. Then a single candle is lit, symbolizing the resurrection and the triumph of light over darkness. Last but not least, we land in Poland, where Easter celebrations are steeped in unique customs and folklore. One such tradition is Śmigus Dingus, or Wet Monday, where people playfully splash water on one another, a ritual thought to bring health and prosperity. From parades to processions, Easter is a global celebration with a local twist. The nuances and variations of Easter celebrations across the globe highlight the rich tapestry of human culture, each thread woven with the shared themes of renewal, rebirth, and hope. Let's take a moment to reflect on the journey of Easter. From humble beginnings as the Jewish Passover, celebrating the liberation of the Hebrews from slavery in Egypt, to its current status as a global celebration, Easter has traveled a remarkable path. Rooted in the spiritual soil of ancient traditions, it has grown and flourished, branching out to touch cultures and societies across the world. The evolution of Easter is as fascinating as the holiday itself. Initially a Jewish religious festival, it metamorphosed with the spread of Christianity. The resurrection of Jesus Christ, celebrated on the Sunday after the first full moon of spring, added another layer to the Easter narrative. And as Christianity spread, so did the holiday, absorbing elements from pagan traditions and incorporating symbols of fertility and rebirth like eggs and rabbits. The traditions and practices of Easter today are as diverse as the cultures that celebrate it. The exchange of decorated eggs, a symbol of new life and rebirth, is a common thread uniting different regions. The consumption of sweets, particularly chocolate, has become a global tradition, a sweet testament to the joyous spirit of the holiday. Egg hunts, festive meals, and family gatherings are the heartbeats of modern Easter celebrations. As we've traversed the globe, we've seen the many faces of Easter. From the festive attire of the Easter parade in the United States to the religious processions in the United Kingdom, Greece, and Poland, Easter wears a different mask in every culture, reflecting the unique traditions and beliefs of each. This journey through the history and evolution of Easter underscores its significance, not just as a religious holiday, but as a social and cultural event. It's a celebration of life and rebirth that transcends borders and languages, binding us all in a shared appreciation of the renewal of spring. Easter, a celebration of life and rebirth, continues to evolve, reflecting the diversity and richness of cultures around the world.